Just all right, YouTube. Let's try this again. We're just gonna tease you. Look what piece of little wonder, 13 horse, kapow. Let's see what else we're playing with. We did an aeration yesterday. As you can see, I'm rounding near the end of round 4. We're down to our last little pallet. Let's see what else we got to play with. Still got the Toro jamming. We just did a video. You got to check that video out. So let's go see if there's anything else new in this equipment. This trailer, I don't know. We're ready. We're ready for those leaves to start falling. Kabam! We got the big boy back. We're going to give it another shot. PB 8010T. We're going to give it another shot. I'm going to give it one more shot. I've been using it. I picked this up a couple days ago. The tube is better flex-wise. I'm not going to say anything more than that right now. But we're going to see about the power because we're going to put it head-to-head with the big boy. We're going to put it head-to-head with the 800. We're going to do some videos. I've already done some initial testing, and I think people are going to be surprised when I show the results of this boy versus that boy, which is the 800. And you're going to see there ain't much difference, my friends. There ain't much difference. When you're talking about how far that one blows and how far that one blows, you're going to see a surprise. And I'm going to show it. Uh-oh, we got a new friend. We got something else to review. SRM 2620T. Got something else to review. Been using it full time for the last, I don't know, 3 days now. So we will see. We just got some new equipment. Felt like updating some fall stuff. We were ready. I'm going to go do my first lawn. Got some fertilizer. Tank is filled. We're ready to go. What's going on out there, YouTube world? So I just wanted to give you a little tease about some stuff that I'm going to be reviewing here. We still got to do a review on the 56Cs. So we'll be doing a review on that. I'm getting ready for fall. What I'm trying to do is close out round 4. And I get this question quite a bit sometimes. People ask, Johnny, how do you fill this up during the day? So what I do is I load up my bottles with water and chemical pre-mix, and then I dump it in here. And that gets me through, however, I calculate how much I'm going to need, and that's what I do. As far as, I keep extra of these bottles. Yeah, I know Red Max. I couldn't wait for Red Max. I honestly, being solo and doing leaves, I really do need the most powerful backpack. And I will be discussing those things soon. I get this question quite a bit. Which backpack I should buy. If you could only buy one backpack, you want to buy the most powerful. And if you're brand loyal, if you're a Stihl guy, you want to go with the 800. If you're an Echo guy, is putting out the most. It's over 1,000 CFM. And at this point in my career, it's so hard because everything dealing with leaves is hard. Everything. There's nothing easy when it comes to leaves. So when you're dealing with leaves, it's just a tough situation when you're dealing with leaves because it takes time to blow them out. It takes time to put them where you want them. And, I'll show you. I'm going to do a setup. I got this idea from Randy. I bought a pull behind aerator, and here's the platform. I'm going to drill a hole in it. I might not even have to drill a hole in it because there's already holes in it. I might be able to just link that in there, and I'm going to try that setup. But these are the blades that I will be using to do my mulching with the leaves. So these are the Toro Atomics. I do not believe they're better than the Gator G5s at all. So I'm definitely disappointed in that aspect of it, but they are made by Toro. I got them at my dealer, and they will work and do what I need them to do. But I think there's more lift to the G5s. and their G5s are like 3 inches, I believe. Could be wrong. But that's what we got going on. We're going to finish up the aerations next week, and that'll be put away. Then we'll be full-time with the Little Wonder blower. The new Little Wonders are absolutely amazing in power. This is 2,500 CFM. The old Little Wonders, the 8 horsepower one, were kind of like 1,300 CFM, which put those backpacks pretty close with 1,000 CFM, 900 CFM. It kind of really wasn't worth it to go get the Little Wonder off the truck. Now with 2,500 CFM, that's over 2 times more powerful, 2.5 times more powerful than the Echo backpack. And if you got a place where you just got woods and you just want to blow them into the woods, that's the machine right there. As you know, in previous videos, I had a billy goat. It was borrowed from a friend. Last year, my Little Wonder 8 horsepower blew up. He let me borrow his billy goat, which he now has. I returned it to him. It's not even close. The billy goat's not even in the same realm as this blower. It's not even. It's just. I was a 9 horsepower Subaru. I would take a backpack over that. That blower just didn't have enough guts to I don't even know. They won't even tell you what the CFM is. They'll tell you what the miles per hour is, but they won't tell you what the CFM is. The CFM is probably, my assumption, is probably around 1,000 to 1,100 is what I'm assuming that big back. Now this here, I've been playing around with it. It is absolutely devastating. Easy to push. I'll do a better review on it. There's some things I don't like on it, but that was about... I heard Toro's coming out with a 4,000 series. They say it's a mix between the 3 and 5,000. I just read your comment. It's a mix between the 3 and the 5,000 series, which it doesn't make much sense to me. So the difference between a 5,000 series, no matter what they tell you, is the 5,000 series has flat free fronts and has a bigger gas tank. That's it. They say they got souped up hydros in it. It's just not true. I've owned both. I've owned a 3,000 and a 5. It's the exact same machine, same deck, same frame, same everything. The only difference is that you get a little bit more seated room on the 3,000, and I believe that's because the gas tank is a 12-gallon, and I believe this is a 7 or 8. So that's the only difference. So they say they're going to mix them, the 3 and the 5, so I don't know what that means. I don't know why you would need to do that. There really is no benefit except for more gas than really moving up to a 5,000 series and paying about $1,500 more. So sometimes companies, they just don't make a lot of sense. The only thing that I would look at is this engine. I wish this engine had a little bit more horsepower to handle the 60-inch deck. It's fine. It does good for weekly cutting. I think it's a good idea, that blower, the U-mount blower. But to be honest with you, I'm not sure about that. I think it's a good piece of equipment. I think for the price, so that's 2,100 CFM, and you're sucking up your zero turn. I know you could take it on and off, but this is 2,500 CFM. And it's only $1,700 as opposed to $3,500 for that, and you have to use that. So those are my things. I think if it was around 2,800 CFM, I think that would be something to look at, but not quite sure. It's sitting at 2,100 CFM. That's only 1,000 CFM, which is quite a bit more than that. But here's my biggest thing, and Billy Goat has this issue, and I can't get it out because the aerator's in the way. But the blower itself, like the little piece of it sits way up off the ground, so it's blowing out like that. I don't think things like that get the lawn swept really good. So the Little Wonder, the air nozzle's right above the ground, and it goes right across the top. I'm a big Little Wonder fan. Many reasons why, but I'll just show you real quickly here. So for a whole season. See, this is a split. It was out the top. And notice that it's down near the ground where everything else is above. So that being down at the ground cleans and sweeps the lawn a lot better than the Billy Goat. And I have a feeling it's going to do that better than the U-mount blower. But I do like the idea. If you need something like that, I do like the idea. I actually thought about trying that out. I'm not going to do it. It's just $3,500 for a blower. The truth is behind leaves. I mean, you get about 5 weeks of leaves. How much money do you really want to invest in leaves, and how much are you really making? Now, if you're an absolute monster company, I mean, listen, I'm going to do a video real soon. I've had it all. I've had the truck loaders. I've crunched them. I've tarped them. I've blown them. There's just not enough money to tie yourself up into a massive truckload or a massive dump trailer. It's just not enough money for me. That's just my opinion. I'm not going to buy a piece of equipment that I'm only going to use. I mean, that was hard for me to buy right there, to be honest with you. Like this aerator. You know, unless you're doing $20,000, $30,000 in aerations, why would you buy a $10,000 piece of equipment and have it sit for actually 11 months, to be honest with you? It's hard enough for me to buy that. The only reason why I bought that for me is just the fact that it's going to speed my jobs up. So I don't do enough in leaves to justify buying $3,500 blower, having a sucker on the back of the truck. It's just, as a matter of fact, when I go to a lawn and do a bid now, this is what I do. I look at the lawn and then I look up. If I see a bunch of those, I'm just really not interested, because there's just not enough money in it to do it unless you live in an area, you got some condo associations, you got some big parking lots. Then it can make it worthwhile to buy a Little Wonder and or the U-mount blower. I think it's a great idea. I don't like how high up the tube is from the mower to the ground. I'd like to see that on the ground a little bit more. The CFM I'd like to see come up a little bit more, because, you know, you got a 7 horsepower. I understand it's only 90 pounds, but at the same time, I don't, it's not where it needs to be yet. For me, 3,000 CFM for $3,500, I would look at. 3,000 CFM to me would be worth it to transform a mower and to do something like that, especially if you had like cemetery work and you had a lot of places where you could use it. But at 2,100 CFM, it's just not where it needs to be for me for $3,500. I mean, that's $1,700 and it's 2,500 CFM. So it's already more powerful. It's light. I can push it across the lawn really easy. It's not going to be, and it's going to move leaves, like massively move leaves. So that's the only way I justify that. I didn't really want to buy that, but I knew I needed one for the properties I have, because I don't have a truck loader anymore. I do have a truck loader. It just hasn't ran in 4 years, because I haven't taken it out and started up. It runs, but I just don't use it since I bought the new truck. Since I bought the new truck, I haven't used, I just crunch them up. I blow them out of the beds, I crunch them up, and whatever's left, I put them in the accelerator, and I'll put a tarp in the bed of the truck, and if I have to haul them away, I'll haul them away. I haul away about maybe 1 truckload a year at most. I throw them over a hillside. But when I was doing it full time, I was getting about 10 to 11 truckloads, and I was paying about $20 to $25 a truckload to dump them, because I just didn't have anywhere to dump them. And it was just a process. You know, being solo, it's hard to drive a trailer and a truck to a job site, you know, because the biggest thing that I had issue with was my truck loader was this. This got in the way of the vac. So I had to actually take this off, 1, 2, 3, and put a different jack system on the inside part. But this trailer's just absolutely too heavy to do that. Because if this wasn't in the way, you can almost do it. I had a swing away system with my vac Had a big box on the truck. I will show you pictures. I have pictures of it. I don't know if I've ever done a video on my vac or not, but guys, that's my time. I just want to do a little tease here real quick. Show some of the new equipment. Real quick, my initial thoughts of the SRM 2620T. It is a very powerful weed whacker. I've always said I used to own the 260Ts. They used to be my favorite weed whackers. Definitely more powerful than the FCO. It's a little motor heavy. I don't notice the weight right now, but give me a couple more days, I might. The only thing I will say as a negative is that this is sharp plastic, and my elbow, my arm lays right here, and this plastic has been bothering me. So that is a design flaw. You notice, guys, how these other channels and other people never talk about the negative side of a piece of equipment like this. It's just, I find it interesting. So I found this right away. This bothered me right away. And there's no sharp edges here. My arm lays probably right here, and there is no sharp edges. But as power goes, not even close. Weight, this is 5. I haven't noticed the weight of it, and not enough travel for me. I'd like to see a little bit more travel for getting around siding, so you can just touch it a little bit. This one here is definitely more sensitive. So those are some things I noticed. You know, it doesn't take but maybe an inch and you're already full range. Hard to just depress it a little bit. Just some things I've noticed. This is really comfortable. I like this. A lot more comfortable than this hard plastic. Just a lot more power though. It is very noticeable. I didn't notice, you know, the difference in power when I was just using this, but this definitely has a lot more power. So I'm very impressed with the power. The weight distribution is pretty good. Very balanced, but this could be an issue. That little sharp piece right there. So I don't know, Echo. Maybe if you're listening, maybe you can listen to us guys out here and that are actually using this equipment in the field. You know, we'll see. Blower. I've had this before, so views on it. This is my second one. I don't know how long I have it. You know me, guys. I'll buy and sell. I mean, I sold the 700 and the 600, and I purchased this. I purchased that. And to me, it seems like the steel weighs more than this. I know on paper they say this one weighs more, but it feels like to me the steel weighs more. But it's way more. Leaf backpack. I want to be able to get through leaves as quickly as I can. That's my whole goal. I want the most powerful of everything. If you're buying a backpack and you can only buy one backpack that has to blow grass off the driveways and do leaves, I really suggest you go with the biggest and baddest because they really help you out in leaves. It really does. The 770 compared to this is light years. The 600 compared to that is light years. The 600 is a great backpack for blowing off driveways, but the truth of the matter is, when it comes to leaves, blowing out beds, pushing leaves, it's not in the same class as that. So that's my advice. If that's what you're going to do, that's what you need to do. You want to buy the biggest and baddest backpack you can get. Will I keep this Echo stuff? Will I buy more of it? I don't know. Stay tuned. You know me, guys. You never know. It's whatever. The only thing that you know, if Red Max came out with a bigger one, I'd probably buy a Red Max. I don't know. You guys know how I am. I sell equipment, buy equipment. I just really don't care. I'm loyal, but I just really don't care, to be honest. I just really don't care about, I just care about what is the best out there. And I'm not going to sit and watch a YouTube video about a guy who's been in business for a year and tell me that, you know, this is the best backpack, this is the best ride-on spreader, this is the best this. How do you know? You haven't used anything else. How do you know? No one's ever on FCO. How do you know that that's not a good weed eater unless you put it through the paces? I don't know. I don't know. And everyone, Johnny, why do you buy so many mowers and sell them? You don't keep them but a year. Blah, 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 blah. How do you know? How do you know? You can't do a demo. You do a demo for an hour. How many hours are on this? 212 hours. There's 212 hours on it. And, so with 212 hours on it, you got a couple oil changes into it. You have a hydro change into it. You're changing the blades. You get to see how it reacts in different grasses. Usually people go out in April and they test drive a mower when the grass is barely grown. Oh, it's your best mower ever, Johnny. Blah, blah, blah. You never get a chance to see, where the grass builds up, how it handles in wet grass. You don't get a chance to see it, so I just do it. You know what I mean? Just do it. Buy it, sell it. I don't know if that mower will be here next year. I don't know if that mower will be here next week. Who knows? You might see another Ferris. You might see a Skag. I don't know. I'm pretty sour on Skag. It would have to be a lot for me to buy another Skag. I did buy a Skag, put 75 hours on it, took an $800 loss just to get rid of it. But that's why I do it. You won't know. I can't do a good enough video to tell you if a 30-inch Time Master will work for you. Just go buy it and sell it. If you don't like it, sell it. It's not that big of a deal. You don't like the stander? Buy it and sell it. Someone will buy it. I've already got offers on this stander. I don't know if I like a 52-inch deck. How am I supposed to know unless I use it? How many hours are on this thing? Not very many. Let's see how many hours are on it. I don't know if I can even see it. Can you guys see it? Maybe you could tell me. Maybe 40 hours? 50 hours at the most? I have no idea. You can't see. I couldn't get around the sides there. You guys can tell me. You can tell me how many hours. I don't even know. 40? I think last time I looked was 45, 50, maybe at the most. So how are you supposed to know unless you put hours on it? You change the hydros. You change the oil. You change the blades. You do the greasing. Sometimes people put stuff on mowers that are just a pain in the butt. I noticed greasing the Skag mower was who puts that many grease points on a mower? Are you insane? It was crazy. I couldn't even find them all. I had to look them all up. There was 20 of them. It was ridiculous. Oh, Johnny, you don't have to grease them all the time. I don't have to grease that machine at all. There ain't a grease point on it. Here's your only grease point. Once a year. One there. One there. That's it. 2. Here's the grease points on this are the 3 spindles, and there's a couple other ones in there, but it's not 20. It's maybe got 6 or 7 of them. It's not 20. So things that irritate you. Look at that stuff. With this mower here, I have to have 3 blade options to get through a season. I have to have a short tail, I have to have a long tail, and I have to have gator blades for the fall season. So when I change the hydros, if it's such a pain in the butt that I can't do it, like the last Ferris mower I bought at the end of the year last year, I changed the hydros one time, and as soon as I was done, I said never again. I sold the mower. It's gone. I think I put 150 hours on it, and it was done. I used it to leaf cleanup, and it's gone now. So if this one's a problem and I don't like it, it's gone. I'm not gonna, I like to do my own work. So if it's a big pain in the rump, you'll see this one go. The hydros in this are simple. This Z-Master's simple. They thought the maintenance out. There's no maintenance. It's just change your blades and go. No maintenance. Change your blades and go. Check the belts. See ya. Gone. This doesn't get used enough. This is 1998 Ryan aerator. What's it? Lawn Air? Yeah, I don't even know. Lawn Air IV. 1998. Honda engine just starts and goes. I did disconnect the oil sensor so I can do hills. That's the only thing I've ever done to it. Pulls a great plug. Great piece of machinery. I don't do enough aeration to justify a ride-on aerator. If Randy's idea works, that'll help me on the big properties. Like I did one where I walked a whole hour yesterday and then 20 minutes to seed it. So I hope Randy's idea works. I hope it's coming in today. I hope that can do it. I don't know if the added weight will hurt these hydros or not. I'm not sure. It's brand new. It just sits here and cuts my lawn, and some days I take it out and just play with it. But that's why I do it. That's why I want to find a really good model. What I found is I like mid-mount, about 1,100 pounds to 1,200 pound zero turns work best for my lawn. What's not working best for my lawn is the deck size versus the engine horsepower. Like I think if that had a 30 horsepower, it would be awesome. That deck size with that engine size is absolutely phenomenal. As a 28 EFI with a 52. I kind of like 60-inch decks because they're just faster. You get more lawn done. So we'll see. Guys, that's my time. I just wanted to play around here. As you can see, the grass is soaking wet. These mowers, look, I still got, I don't know if that's a little bit leftover frost from last night. So there's not much I can really cut. So that's why I decided to jump on here, give you a little tease of the new equipment, review, just chat up with you. And I'm answering any question right now. First 2 questions pop out, I'm gonna answer any question. Drop me a question and we'll go from there. Hit me up. What you guys got? What you guys got today? You got no questions? No questions in the house? I've been on for about 30 minutes, so I'm gonna get off here. Give me one question. Pack up the rest of this. I'm gonna go, wanna make sure the frost is off before I start riding on people's lawns. Any questions in the house? Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it. If you had to buy a mower today, which one is it exactly today? Still the 3000. No, I don't think so. I don't know. I think the 2100 with the 28 EFI is probably the mower. I kind of like it. I like the simplicity of the 3000. There is really no maintenance to it. Cutting grass from 10 o'clock to 6 o'clock. This destroys the ICD deck. But I like the comfort, and I like the engine. I like having a bigger engine and a little bit more torque. So I'm thinking the 2100 Ferris, 3000, 5000 series. I like them. But like right now, if I went to go cut a fertilized lawn in the condition this grass is in, this makes messes that it's very hard to clean up. I could always clean up a mess with an ICD deck. I could always do it. I never had an issue. Like right now, I mean, it as you see, it's soaked. I mean, there's still a light layer of just frost. Thanks, Mark. So the 3000 and the X-Mark SE series, I just wish it had just a little touch more horsepower, a touch more, like that. A 30 EFI engine matched with a turbo force deck probably would be the best mower on the planet, in my opinion. I got to be honest, I do like that 2852 setup. That is a massive setup. But the weight of the machines for the properties that I have, when I had the 3200, great power, 37 EFI, best engine, awesome, love it. The problem was I was leaving ruts everywhere. I pulled it out over 7 times that year. And by the end of the year, my lawns were really rutted, like rutted. I haven't got this stuck ever, and I don't rut lawns with it. So my weight for my lawn seems to be right around 11 to 1,200 pounds. So if I buy another one, you might see the Ferris Stander. You might see the Ferris Stander is what I'm assuming. It's around the 1,200 pound mark, and it's fast. It has 37 EFI. The deck to motor ratio is really good. So if you might see that, you might see a Skag, you might see a Ferris. But You know, I never know. You might just see this. Yeah, I am really impressed with the stander, the 52. Now that I found the short tail blades from Ballard, the stander is interesting to me. I do like it. It's standers are interesting, but I miss the feathering of the deck, and it's hard to do that with. I know Gravely has a system that you can do that, but one more question and we're off and running, man. And one more question. But as far as the 3000, I do suggest it. I'm just telling you the limitations that I see with it. When you're cutting dry grass, I don't care if that dry grass is a foot tall. This will clean it up. It is unbelievably cutting machine. But when you get into this stuff and it's high and fertilized, like I could cut this lawn right now with this. It's thin, it's weedy. I could cut this lawn and it would be no big deal. But my higher fertilized lawns that are wet, that are about 9 inches high, and I would throw that through that deck, it's not been able to clean it up. It cleans it up okay, but I come back a week later, I see dead grass everywhere. So, favorite trimmer line. This is an easy question for me. This is the Square Gator line. Square Gator line with a Magnum Gator line. It's 0.80. Unbelievable stuff. It is like a razor. Shreds it. It's my all-time favorite. You will not see me going from brand to brand anymore. I've used almost every brand out there, and this is what works best for me. 0.80 Magnum Gator line. It saves on the engine because I don't run guards. And I know you're not supposed to, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care. I don't run guards, not going to run guards. So 0.80 really saves the engine and the clutches. I've never replaced a clutch in any of my weed eaters. Maybe one time have I ever had to do that. That's my favorite line, hands down. I'm not going to switch brands on that. Once I usually find something I really, really like, I won't switch. Then the Permagreen, so you're not going to see me switch. I like it. It's compact. It does hills. It does very good. I've never streaked a lawn with it. Easy to work on. So as far as backpack goes, I'm not sure between the 800 and the 8010. This has more power. That's more comfortable. I don't know if this has enough power to make me want to switch. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. But if you're in the Echo line, it's a good blower. It's pretty comfortable. It has some nice wind on your back. So we'll see. We'll see. I do like this weed eater. That has 0.95 line in it, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It does cut pretty well, but as you can see, look at the Gator line, how it's perfectly straight out and bent. This has got all kinds of twists and bends, and it doesn't stand straight out of the weed eater like the Gator line does. The Gator line cuts like razors. The Black Diamond's okay, but for me, it's not close. That's it. One more question. That's it, guys. I'm on my way. I gotta get going. I gotta get to fertilizing. I think the frost is just about done here. So, any other questions? One more question. We're out the door. Last one. Good questions today, by the way. It's a great question on 3000. Great question on trimmer line. Trimmer line is by Oregon Gator Line Magnum. Favorite mulching style blade is G5 Oregon Gator blades. Those are my favorite. One more question and we are out. Come on, hit me up one more time. I'm just giving you some time to type. I'm sure someone's typing up a really good question right now. Any questions about any machinery? All right, guys, that's my time. Been awesome. We will be doing more reviews of this equipment. Um, you never know what will be here next time you show up. I could have all Echo equipment. I could have steel. I could have red mat. You never know. Stay tuned. Follow the channel. We're gonna just buy equipment, review it the way we want to review it, no matter how many people dislike that I do it. I always get so many comments like, yeah, why do you keep buying and selling so much? Jeez, can't you stick with one piece of equipment? Nah, nah. At my age, I just want to play with equipment, and they're not going to let you play the way you want to play. So we'll buy this. I ran a Great Dane before. Fertilizer, you know what? The question about fertilizer, this first number in the fall is really, I mean, they don't really sell a lot of fertilizer with phosphorus in it now. I mean, you have to order it. In the fall, it depends on what I'm doing. Like if I'm just putting a last app on, I'm going to put about a pound of nitrogen on. I want it to be slow release, but I want it to be out of the system before January. So it's not growing in January when you get a hot spell. Like if you get a 45, 50-degree day and the grass just decides to grow, if you're pumping a lot of nitrogen in the fall, go 3/4 of a pound of nitrogen. I mean, it's already green. Look, this lawn's not even fertilized. Look at it. You don't really need a lot of pushed growth, but you want some stored. You want to store up a little bit of nitrogen for next year. When I'm seeding, I use this. Best fertilizer you can use, 20-10-10. I don't hit it so hard with the nitrogen. I'll probably put between 0.5, 0.6 pounds of nitrogen. It's a good product. It's by the Andersons. Great product, actually. So, if I'm overseeding, I use that. But because of chinch bugs being so bad this year, this is mixed with a product called Talistar. And so I am about, let me see here. I am 0.25 sulfur coated. So this is a slower release. So I put on about 0.75 up to a pound, depending on the lawn, the condition of the lawn. If the lawn's in bad condition coming out of the drought, I'll hit it a little harder with the nitrogen, a little bit above. Any 23, 03, 22, it's not really a big deal. But if I'm seeding, I do like to do the 20-10-10. And that's usually what I put on is that 20-10-10 when I'm overseeding a lawn. As far as, basic weeds, we've went over that. I use 3 different products to do weeds. All right, guys, it's my time. Have a good one. Let me see if I missed any questions here. You'd like me to see me review? Okay, let me answer these real quick. You may even run a Great Dane. I'd like to see some reviews on. I'm not a fan of Gravely's deck. I'm not a fan at all, actually. Gravely's deck just does not work well up here. And they've struggled all across America. So until they get a really good, I think they're a good brand, good built, but their deck's just not up to par up here in the Northeast. It'll get slaughtered. In fact, there's no one here that even runs them. The Quick Lock system. The Quick Lock system is still my main system. Milwaukee hedge trimmers are now my backup. One of the main reasons why they're my backup, and I will be doing a video of this, is because I had an overgrown property, and I was doing boxwoods, and it struggled to cut the boxwoods. And I was so frustrated, I had to cut 40 boxwoods. It was taking me too long. I went and bought those, and it absolutely destroyed the boxwoods. Destroyed them. Like, cut my trimming of the boxwoods in half. They were too thick, and they could not handle it. And so I went back to gas powered, and when I do a review of those, I will show you the negatives, and there are 2 in particular. I still like the Milwaukee Fuel. The quick lock system is absolutely phenomenal for extended pruning, but if you compare the 56 to that, it definitely will cut. But when you get into the bigger, thicker stuff, I noticed I had trouble and my times were going down. And as a solo operator, I really don't have time to play around and monkey around with it. So I just went with those, and the difference was amazing. Like, it wasn't even close, actually. I was cutting time in half. I was zipping through the boxwood that was struggling through the boxwood, and you could hear the motor. It was struggling. Like, you could hear it clicking a lot, as opposed to that just just like a ninja. So that's my answer on the Milwaukee fuel system. I still use this blower. Works good for sidewalks. As far as if you're doing a lot of hedge trimming, I just don't think you can use them. They will do a nice job. But if you're doing a lot of hedge trimming, I think for time's sake, I think you're better off going with the 56s or even higher, the 82 tease, just to get through it, as opposed to that. That's my initial. But when I do my review on that, there's a couple things I need to talk about when it does come to boxwoods concerning where that muffler is, and that's a big deal. Steel should know better. You'd figure they'd figure this out, but they just haven't. Sometimes it just bothers me that they don't listen to us. That these people, like, I know Echo's not going to do anything about this. When your arm was resting here and it's rubbing your arm and cutting into your arm, I know. Like, it's kind of like when I complained about the tube. I was one of the first ones in the country to get one of these. I bought it. When they first came out, I searched and I got one. And I complained about the tube from the very get-go. It took them a year to fix it. And I just don't think that companies really listen. There's a company, I'm not going to mention their names, that I was working with a little bit. And they made a comment in the conversation like, user error. And I was like, sir, I've been in business for 24 years. I think I know how to use a piece of equipment. You know what I mean? I'm not some rum-dum here. Well, we find that user error is 80% of the mistakes that are made. Oh, so when that breaks on you, when I said it about the tube, Johnny, you just need to lift more weights, Johnny. Now all of a sudden, a year later, they fix it. Oh, maybe if you would have actually did a real field test with someone who really, look, I found this in one application. The 2620 has been out for how long? Well, it's just user error. Maybe you should put your arm there. Well, my arm goes there because that's where I use it. My arm goes here. I don't have any issue with this one. There's no sharp edges, nothing cutting me. That just bothers me about these companies. They just put it out there and they make you figure out how to use it. But guys, that's my time. Great day. Have fun. Later.